Okay, good afternoon everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of that weekly football show with me, Mr. Drone, and today, this week, I've got Andrew, a Man City fan, as you can probably see. I'm really lucky. Again, I asked last week if any Man City fans fancied coming on. Andrew reached out to me, said he'd love to come on the show, and we're going to have a good chat about Man City and things that are going on there, because it's quite interesting, the things going on around Man City. So, as always, got some things on the board that we're going to try and discuss, but we'll just see how it goes. We'll run it how it goes. We've got latest fixtures to start with. That's last week's Man City. The Super League we'll try and get to, because I wanted to get to it last week, but we just had to go past. And then next weekend's fixtures, okay? So we'll get into that right now. So here we go. This is episode 4 of that weekly football show with me, Mr. Drone, and Andrew, the Man City fan. Let's go. Right, so here we go, straight into it, part 1. What we're going to look at, myself and Andrew, is the latest fixtures. But I'll tell you what, before we do, Andrew, do me a favour, if you don't mind, will you just tell everybody who you are, how long you've been a City fan, that sort of thing, if you don't mind.
I'm Andrew. I've been a City fan since I was 7 years old. My first match was back in October 1976.
Against?
Nottingham Forest, and we won 2-1. And because we won and the atmosphere there, that's what got me hooked.
Really?
That's what got me hooked.
So is it, because you're from Manchester, I'd have thought, like, sorry, I know you say I'm not going to try and guess your age, but when you say, when you were 7 years old, I'd have thought back then it was a lot Manchester United. So was it like family? Does it go with family or hereditary?
It's where Main Road was situated.
Main Road, of course, yeah.
Main Road was in Moss Side in Manchester, and my family moved into Moss Side in 1976.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Moss Side is predominantly Jamaican community, but living in around that area every other Saturday during the season, right, you'd see all the City fans heading towards Main Road.
As a kid? Yeah.
As a kid.
Yeah.
So, right, I got invited to that game and I've been hooked ever since.
Really? That's great, isn't it? That's because in around like kind of this area in Liverpool, it tends to go on. I think, remember I'm originally from Bristol, but I think for me, it seems to be a lot like it's kind of family based, because the grounds are so close together anyway. Here, Goodison and Anfield, so it's more like it runs in the family. Your dad's a blue, your dad's a red.
At the time, Main Road wasn't that too far away from them lot. The other,
the red ones.
Yeah,
the red ones.
Trafford United.
Yeah. Okay. This is how it's gonna go. I see. This is how it's gonna go. That's good. That's all good. I like that. All right then. Okay. So since you were 7, so that's a lifelong City fan then, yeah.
46 years.
Not just since the new owners took over and.
No, I'm not.
Nothing like that.
I'm not glory or bandwagon.
Did you see some of them? Have you found a lot of them?
There's actually on Facebook. There's a Facebook page, or Man City fan club.
Yeah.
Facebook page.
Yeah.
And there's like 2 seasons ago on the Facebook page, there was a lot of bandwagons coming out with, because we're going through a little rough patch 2 seasons ago, and even though we did end up winning the league, but they were calling for Pep's. They were calling for Pep's head, and I put a comment on that Facebook page, basically telling him to go and support another club, right? For the past 10 years, we've never had it so good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We've never had it so good.
10 years plus,
right? Yeah. And that comment that I gave, I actually got over 36,000 likes.
Really, yeah.
For nearly 3 days, my phone was going ping.
Really? Yeah. And that's probably from what you probably took from that. That's the proper City fans.
Yes.
I totally agreeing with you and supporting you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that. I've seen on that kind of note. I've heard recently, again in and around here, I've heard recently some Liverpool fans actually calling for Klopp's head. whether you like Liverpool or not, you can't deny Klopp's a fantastic
I think
manager.
Klopp has got enough credit in his bank.
Go off.
Right.
As does
He's
Pep.
going to be given a chance to rebuild.
Of course. Well, if he gets backed, because I think that's the problem. It's the backing, you know. We digress a little bit there. Anyway, we digress, but yeah, okay. So what we'll do, Andrew, trying to get back to it. Like I say, it just flowed. You know what I mean? I'd rather have it like a chat, but.
Some of the results are quite surprising.
Yes, so we're gonna go from the top. And what I will mention, guys, just on this note before we get into this, as you know, the very last section is where me and my guest will have a little guess at next weekend's fixtures, what we think. And what I've done up here, and this could be a mistake by me, it already is. I'm gonna work out, like on a points tally, me against my guests on our predictions. Now, it's going to be 3 points for an exact result, exact score. And you get 1 point if you get the result right. So, for example, last week Dan guessed Arsenal to Villa 1. It was 4-2 Arsenal, so he gets a point because he got the result right. If he'd have guessed 4-2 Arsenal, he'd have got 3 points. Okay, that's how it'll go. The guests are on 22 points already, and I've only had 2 of them on, Dan and Ben. I'm on 12, so I'm struggling. So, Andrew, I'm going to be trying really hard this week. But, let's get on. So, Arsenal Villa. Did you see any of the game? That was the early afternoon game, wasn't it?
I just saw the highlights.
Yeah.
And well, with the Arsenal Villa one, in my view, everybody's got their own views.
Yeah. That's why
they dominated.
Arsenal did.
Yeah. They dominated.
I agree. I was sitting in the pub. I was going to the Everton Leeds match, so I just had the burger in the pub, and it was on the TV, so you can't really watch it properly. But I did watch it, and then like you, watched the highlights, and it seemed that way. But on saying that, I did go for a Villa win. I thought Arsenal were going to crumble after the City score last week.
Yeah.
I thought it was a turning point, and me and Dan said it in last week's show that we both thought this could be a turning point of Arsenal season, and City's the fact that you guys could just start making that real climb.
Actually, regarding that, I actually think because Arteta was basically tutored by Pep, right?
Yeah, of course he was. Yeah,
as assistant coach.
He was. Yeah.
Right. Where Man City now, once we drop, we always bounce back.
Yeah. Okay.
The same.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Good observation. That really is. Did you see, just staying on this one, so it didn't really surprise us, I suppose. I just thought, like I said, I went out there to put in a Villa win because I thought, they were going to, that was going to be the turning point. I was wrong, so I wasn't surprised Arsenal won, really. Did you see
the own goal, Martinez, the own goal, and that lot, right?
Yeah.
It's because Arsenal pushed them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
They
were under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I always think it's really tough given those, because it's the bar. He's dived and missed, and it's the bar and then bounced off his head.
Okay.
I think that's really tough giving keepers own goals, for that. I know it's come off them, but I just think it's really tough. I always have thought that. Did you see the Martinelli one? Because Martinez had gone up the other end for a corner and left an open goal. It gets to Martinelli, who's quick, sprints up. He's celebrating before he even scores the goal.
Oh.
But then after it, Unai Emery, the film manager, just couldn't hold himself. He was just saying how he said, I never want him to go up for corners. He's not supposed to be there. I never told him to go up. And he basically said, and he'll learn, he'll know. He won't forget that moment. So
True.
It just made me, at the end I thought, God, he wasn't happy about that.
Leaving basically an open goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's 90+3 and they were losing, so I don't think, I get what he's saying if he hadn't given that instruction, but if Martinez would have scored, I doubt he would have said anything, Anyway, moving on, Brentford Palace. This is one of the ones that Dan and here got right, a draw. Not really a shock there, really.
No.
It could have gone either way, really.
No, the next one's surprising.
Yes, it was, yeah. Next one was surprising. Fulham Brighton, because Brighton are flying, aren't they? Brighton are good. They're a good, strong team.
Right, at the moment they're 7th, right?
Yeah.
Well, they've got 2 games in hand.
Yeah.
Right, and the way they're going on, I'm not just saying this, but other teams, beware, top four,
Yeah.
beware.
Like I said,
They could sneak in.
They're a good, strong, organised team.
Yeah.
Really organised team.
They could sneak in. The other team should be looking over their shoulders with Brighton.
I agree. But they did get beat by Fulham at home.
That's the surprising.
Yeah. And the next one, Chelsea.
Southampton.
I thought that would have been Chelsea's game, where they were going to make a sort of statement and say, we can score loads of goals. Southampton, let's be honest, and I've kind of said this in a couple, I don't mean any disrespect to Southampton fans. If there's a Southampton fan watching who wants to come on, more than welcome, and you can have an out with me there. But Southampton are there for the taking. It's Chelsea at home. Chelsea's 323 million spent, I'll say it again. But it's chaos there, isn't it? It's chaos.
But in their defence, knowing football as I do, right? With all the new players they bought, they've got to blend into the team.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
The team and the new players have got to learn how the other players play.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The other players have got to learn how they play.
There's probably a language barrier. There's got to be.
Yeah.
There's got to be language barriers with all these different players as well, from different nationalities and everything. Must be language barriers. So when you're on the pitch, you're almost if you can't speak the same language. I'm not sure that there is, but I'm just saying there has to be, because these players that they bought were literally from all over the place.
And at the end of the day, they've got to be given time.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, because of the name of the game, right? Time doesn't mean anything really. It's all about success.
Of course it is. I think it will for the players, and this is something we've touched on before the other week when we spoke of Jesse Marsh's second. I think so the players will get time. The person that won't get time is Graham Potter. He won't get time. So he's been given all this money to spend in January, and if they lose again, I think he might be on sticky wickets, to be honest with you. I'm surprised there hasn't been any talk here. I think there has been by the Chelsea fans, by the way. I think they've been shouting. Chelsea fans, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty certain I've heard some shouts there that he needs to go. Potter needs to go. But again, this boy, Ward-Prowse, give them free kicks, and it happened. Everton done it, and I'm saying that Southampton there for the taking. Let's remember, Southampton beat us, a few weeks ago. So egg on my face a bit there, but beat us because we gave a silly free kick away in a dangerous area, and he just slots it. Great. If they do go down, he'll be one that stays in the Premier League. I'm sure about that, Ward-Prowse.
If Southampton goes down, there will be a team snapping him up.
Absolutely. Probably Newcastle.
Definitely.
Mind you, Newcastle have got a free kick taker in Trippier, haven't they? So yeah. Let's move on. Let's move on to my boys.
Yeah.
Everton 1, Leeds 0.
I call that the Dyke effect.
Yeah, it has to be.
Right, I've seen the interviews he's given, even on Everton FC.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
The press conferences and that.
Yeah.
Talks well, doesn't he?
And the one-to-ones he's had as well. Right, and he's thinking about the game. Right, and how he approaches the actual squad and the team.
Yeah.
Right, how he has individual talks with them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and talks to them in a way of how to get the best out of them.
Yeah.
Right. You're not going down.
No. I hope not.
No.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying about how he seems to have come in, and he seems to be this real manager with them. He's put an arm around them all, and he showed them one of the things when he first come in. He told everyone that he showed them either footage or just thing. He showed them what they'd won in their career, what they'd achieved in their career, just to remind them of who they were and that they are good enough.
Yes.
They're good enough to be. They're good enough to be at this club. They're good enough to stay up. And it's really good. He's come out and he said it over and over again. There's really good players here. I'm not feeding down to the players. He's given them all that belief, I think, and that confidence. It's really good. Here's the big one. Here's the big one for you, and this was a surprise, of course. Forest City.
We took towards the end of the game. This is just my view. We just took our foot off the pedal.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, for some reason, and I bet Pep was going after the match was going mental.
Right, really.
Right, I bet he was going mental after the match because we just took our foot off the pedal.
Yeah.
Right, the team obviously thought, right, 1-0, right, that'll do us. Right, right. Let's try and control the game with passing and whatnot. Took the foot off the pedal, then bang.
Surely you wouldn't like as a City fan, if that is the case, you wouldn't like that to be that Pep is saying 1-0 against Forest. That'll do us. Surely you'd like to be no. You need to secure. You need to.
That's what Pep would have said.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's down to the players on the pitch at the end of the day.
They've got to execute that, haven't they? They've got to execute that plan. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And Wood, I think he wasn't even on the pitch too long, was he, when he scored?
Subbed. Yeah.
Yeah. So and it was the goal as well.
We gave them that one point.
Yeah.
We gave them that 1 point.
Yeah. And that could have powered you right up there, couldn't it? Because Arsenal have got a game in hand still as well, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now they're 2 points ahead.
Yeah. Here's another shock. Wolves, Bournemouth. 1-0 Bournemouth.
Wolves are playing all right as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They have been playing all right.
Yeah. Wolves have been playing all right
Yeah,
as well.
they have been playing all right, and then they just make sure I'm on mute there. Yeah. Beat Arrow, Bournemouth. And do you know what the worst thing is about this? For me, an Everton fan. Anyway, this is the worst thing for me. Everton pulled off the win against Leeds. We have Nottingham Forest managing to draw against City.
Yeah.
We had Bournemouth winning. We had Southampton winning. You know, it was like everything around us didn't go our way, unfortunately. But I suppose on that note, all you got to do is win your own games, haven't you? Because it is in our hands. If we do win them,
concentrate on your own games.
If we do get the points, we stay up.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're in that position now, we're out of it.
Yeah.
And if we continue there, we stay up. Yeah.
And Dyke will be pushing, right? Because now you're out of it.
Yeah.
You're out of it. I mean, your 2 places are above the drop zone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Dyke will be pushing. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Let's
Look
move up.
what we can do. And we've got another home game this weekend, Villa at home. So that can obviously, if we manage, tough game, really tough game. But if we manage to get another 3 points there, honestly, I think you could be looking and saying we could be okay. Definitely could be okay. Liverpool, Newcastle, no shock. It wasn't a shock for me, to be honest.
It wasn't a shock for you?
No, it wasn't. No.
Right.
No, I think because they just beat us in the derby, and I thought they looked okay in the derby. Obviously, we've seen them play last Tuesday night.
Well, the way the Newcastle's been going, I wasn't expecting a 2-0.
No.
Right?
No.
Right? I was at the very least, all right, 2-1.
Right.
I was expecting
Before
Newcastle to actually got one.
I actually guessed that was my prediction 2-1. That was my prediction 2-1 Liverpool. I did think Newcastle would score because Liverpool have been struggling at the back. But on saying that, Newcastle have been struggling to score lately. They've been struggling for goals. So it just didn't surprise me that much. Do you know what? If it was a draw, it probably wouldn't have surprised me though. It's just the way it is at the moment, you know. United, you must be happy with this one, Andrew. United 3-0 and Marcus Rashford looking good.
Yeah. He, the manager now, he's turned them around.
Yeah. He's a good manager. He's looking. Like
what he's probably done is a Dyke.
Yeah.
With the squad.
Gone in, arm around them. Got rid of Ronaldo was one of the best things he could have done because I think it was upsetting the balance. They were playing better without him, and he was obviously not happy with that. And I think that can then upset things. So I think it was good there because of the power of a Ronaldo. I think it was good that he was backed by the club, Ten Hag. He was the one that was backed and Ronaldo was the one that went. I think it worked wonders for them. But
I think it was I think Ronaldo expected the club to be the same from when he left.
Yeah,
Right. Right?
Yeah, I get that, yeah.
And when he came back and saw that all the structure and everything else was different, right? It didn't suit him.
No. But it's a different game though, isn't it?
Yes.
The game is so different.
It's evolved
Yeah.
from when he left and went to Real Madrid.
Yeah,
so,
of course. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's evolved.
Yeah.
Right? And he obviously came back and thought, right?
Didn't like
It must be, yeah.
It must
didn't
be
like
just
the
United.
structure.
Yeah, good point. Tottenham West Ham, 2-0 Tottenham. Emerson and Son. Surprised. London derby.
That, yeah, it's actually the issues at Tottenham
Yeah.
at the moment, right? Because
They seem another chaotic, just like Chelsea, don't they? Just chaotic. It's
they
up and down. They'll win one, lose one, win one, lose one.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yo-yo,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced. I've said this before. I'm not convinced Conte is the right suited manager for.
No, because previous clubs at Conte, right? He was able to buy in the players he needed, and he's always bought in Conte experienced players, right?
Yeah.
Not fresh legs, youngsters,
Yeah. Okay.
right? Experienced players.
Yeah.
He's always bought in experienced players,
Okay.
right? But he hasn't had the budget for that,
Yeah.
right? Now, I've witnessed Spurs fans and like jumping on the bandwagon, but what they're not taking into consideration, right? And they want Levy out.
Yeah.
Right, they want Levy out, and what they're not taking into consideration, the initial budget for the new stadium was 750 million, right, and that went up to 1.2 billion, right, and he treats the club as a business.
Yes.
Right, he's got to pay off that debt.
Yeah.
For the stadium.
Yeah.
And that money is not going on the pitch.
Yeah.
Right? In his head, he doesn't have the money to put on the pitch.
That's the right, in my opinion though. I know we all want, as fans, you all want the players, you want to just see them spend loads, but that is the right way to run a club though, isn't it? You've got to clear your debts. We'll pick up some players, the ones that we can afford, that we think are also good enough, not world beaters. They're not picking up world beaters. You'd say like some Richarlison. Okay, he's playing in the Brazil squad and that, but he's not.
But if you actually watch their games, he spends most of the time on the bench.
I know he does. And then they got Danjuma. They're picking up. There's loads of the same sort of players that they've got. The amount they've got in midfield is unreal, to be honest. The amount of midfielders they've got. But yeah, I agree. It's
what's the area that's letting him down is the defence.
Yeah.
Right, is the defence, and because they don't have the money to fix up a defence, right? Hence why 1 minute they're winning, next game, like you say, losing, and then they win again, lose.
Yeah, right. That's why I said so. We'll move down to what effect this has all had on the table as we see it. And I did say last week, because Newcastle have dropped down now, but I did say to the Newcastle fan, Dan that was here, I said I think his biggest concern when Newcastle were fourth, I said his biggest concern will be Liverpool, because Liverpool are the ones that have got they've probably got what it takes to win a series of games, whereas Tottenham haven't. Yeah, they won last week and they've stepped up to fourth, but in my opinion, Tottenham will drop back down, and Newcastle go up in. You could have a point with Brighton, but I just think all of them. I think Liverpool are the biggest threat to make that fourth spot. They've got a game in hand over Tottenham and Newcastle. 2 games in hand over Tottenham, who were in fourth.
It's not over yet, because with like Liverpool, they've got 16 games left.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The season's not decided yet.
No chance. It's so close. It's so close here.
No.
It's so close here, and I tell you what as well. I know you don't like this, but United are close, aren't they? They're close. They are closing in. I know you won't like that, but they are closing in.
No, but if you look at previous seasons with Man City, right, we go through a phase where we start wobbling.
Yeah.
Right? Right? But towards the end of the season, we pick it up.
He does. He can.
We always have.
I think that, again, you said before, that's the Dyche effect for us. I think that's the Pep effect for you.
Yeah.
I think he can. He can quickly see someone's not quite going, and he can quickly level it.
Yes.
And that's good. But
And,
like you said,
unfortunately, for a City fan,
you think
right?
Arteta can do the same?
Right. Yes.
Yeah. And it looks like he's quickly. They had a couple of bad results, and then they go and they went. You know, they're 1-0 down and 2-1 down against Villa, and managed to come back and win 4-2. That is the makings of a what they say makes of a championship side, isn't it?
And just on the side note,
Yeah.
right? Because of that influence,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just the Pep influence with Arsenal and Arteta,
Yeah.
right? You've got Burnley in the Championship, they're 12 points ahead.
Yeah.
Vincent Kompany.
He's doing a great job, isn't he?
And he's playing the Pep way.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. He really is.
They're 12 points ahead.
They are
at the top
smashing
of
it.
the Championship.
Yeah.
Right? There we go. What's
Yeah.
going to be really funny is next
If they
season,
don't come up automatically, there's something that's got to go
No. Drastically wrong.
Drastically wrong for Burnley. Yeah.
Drastically wrong.
You're right. He is doing a great job.
That's going to be funny next season with Pep manager Arteta and then Vincent Kompany.
Nip down to the bottom of the league really quick. This is the nasty end.
Yeah.
Chelsea are there, down at the bottom end. But yeah, as you'll see from down here, if we look down here, Everton got the points, but we're still, because of the results round us. Yeah, we're 16th, we're 2 places above it.
True.
Still so close to it. So close to it. We play Villa here. Tell you what, if results go our way, jump up to 24. Well, we'd only move up 1 place really, actually, if things go our way, because Leicester's goal difference is massive unless we score 13 goals. But yeah. So it's looking same there. Tell you what, look at Chelsea's goal difference. 0. You know, that's just not a Chelsea side, that is it. Not one we expect anyway. But yeah. So who have you got on that note? While we're looking at the bottom, who do you think will go down at the moment this season?
That's difficult. That's a difficult one, right? Because look at the points and how close.
I know. It's just like the top half. It's so close.
What I will go for, right?
Yeah.
Bournemouth, Leeds, Southampton.
Exactly the same. That was in my head. Exactly the same. Bournemouth, Leeds, Southampton. I think West Ham have got too much. I think and I hope Everton have got too much.
Yeah.
Leeds and Southampton are they still managerless, both of them? Or Southampton appointed, I can't remember. I'll double check that. I can't recall right now off the top of my head. I know Leeds are.
That's a good question.
Because I know they were linked with Jesse Marsh, wasn't he? And I did say last week, I think that's a terrible.
Leeds, it's the interim manager, isn't it?
Yeah. So that could have an effect, but yeah, okay. Look, we'll have a tiny break, couple of minutes break for us. It'll just be seconds for you, and then we'll move on. Right, okay, everybody. Part 2. Part 2 is going to be Andrew's favourite part, Manchester City. We'll probably part 3 Super League, and I think we might go into both here because this is going to Man City have a lot to do with that as well, or a lot to do with the things I'm going to mention. So here we go, Andrew. Manchester City. So as we know, just a few little points. If anybody don't know where you've been. Manchester City taken over 2008 by Sheikh Mansour, who's one of football's wealthiest owners. Estimated net worth 17 billion for him, but his family are worth at least 1 trillion. Okay, and they're owned. So Manchester City are actually owned by the Abu Dhabi United Group, but that's basically owned by Sheikh Mansour. So it's just to get that in case somebody jumps in and says they're not owned by them. They're owned by, they're not owned by him, they're owned by this, so yeah, same thing, potato. So, Andrew, how did it feel in 2008 when you found out that you were being taken over by, well, at that time, you turned into the richest club in the world. I had this conversation last week with Dan, because he was a Newcastle fan, and they've now become the richest club in the world. And what did that feel for you? Because you must have seen, as a City fan, you must have seen...
Shock initially.
Yeah.
Shock.
Yeah.
Right? We basically couldn't believe it. I go back, like I mentioned earlier, decades.
Yeah.
Right? And give a prime example where the first, just to make a statement, then they want to shake my sword to make a statement. When they took over, the first player, one of the first players they bought was Robinho for 36 million.
It was the biggest
right?
signing of Premier League of English football at that time, wasn't it?
At that time.
Yeah,
right?
I remember that signing.
36 million.
Yeah.
We won't talk about Robinho now because he's in jail.
He's in jail.
But,
he's a naughty boy now, so we won't talk about it. Yeah, yeah.
Right?
But at the time, it was massive. That it was massive.
When our most expensive player at the time, when we were still at Main Road, was Niall Quinn for £1 million.
Yeah. Wow.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
For £1 million. That's the
That
that's
puts
the
it into
state we was
perspective,
in.
doesn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Yeah.
Or what state we was in. Right. And those football fans that are old school like myself, you remember that Man City dropping 2 divisions in the late 90s.
Yeah.
That's how bad things got for
Yeah.
us.
Exactly. So it's almost from like bottom. Yeah. All right. Not rock bottom because you could have gone lower, but I suppose for a fan, it feels like rock bottom, doesn't it? When you used to being up there in the
It felt like
top.
rock
Yeah,
bottom because when we used to be regularly being in the first division,
Yeah. Yeah.
never dropped out of it, and then we dropped 2 divisions. We're
Yeah.
going, what's going on?
Climb back up, get this massive takeover, and at the time you were taking over. I'm right. My memory serves me right. Is that you were taken over from? It was bought from the Chinese.
Taksin Shinanatwa.
Yeah.
It was.
He was in big trouble. All his assets were seized and everything, weren't they? And
for corruption.
yeah, corruption. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he got over to the UK and was seeking asylum and all sorts, wasn't he? And at the time, he's the owner of your football club.
Yeah.
And his wife was in jail, wasn't she? His wife
Yeah.
got sent to jail. So for you, it was. I think at the time, it was looking like Man City could be in trouble of the likes of administration going under here. Let alone the next thing.
There was that lingering around.
Yeah.
Yes, there was that lingering around. So in many ways, Sheikh Mansour was the club's saviour.
Literally the saviour. Yeah.
Was literally the saviour.
Yeah.
And
Then he's brought you, or they, the owners have then brought you success a lot.
yes,
Since that.
Yeah.
Look, so you've gone again. Then you've gone from going down, as we said, pretty much what we feel like rock bottom, to then winning Premier League titles.
I was actually there. 2011, 2012 season.
Was that the
I was
Aguero
actually
one?
on the 93rd minute and 20 seconds.
Yeah, was that the Aguero one? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Against QPR.
Yeah, QPR. There's an almost forgotten club, and you were there, were you?
Yeah.
How did that feel at that moment in time?
I got all right. Yeah, I got emotional.
Yeah.
Right, we couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Right, but
And
unfortunately,
you stole it from United, didn't you? It was
Yes.
United that we're looking at. Yeah.
goal difference.
Yeah.
Right,
Amazing. Yeah.
and we were all started singing afterwards as well. Premier League in Fergie time.
Yeah.
Premier League in Fergie
Yeah.
time.
Really.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah, because a habit of Fergie
Yeah, I know.
with his
Yeah,
watch and everything.
yeah.
Right, so we started singing Premier League in Fergie time. However, this will make a few viewers laugh. Right, I didn't actually see them lift the trophy
Why not?
because where I was sat,
Why? Where were you, sir?
I was sat 3 rows behind the QPR dugout, but you had the media wall.
Are you joking?
Right, because they put the stand in front of the east stand.
Yeah.
Right,
And
to
they
lift
put-
the trophy,
and put the wall up.
put the media wall where the photographers and ladders and everything.
Yeah.
Right, I had to watch it on the screen.
Oh, that's a killer. That's a. Look, it still happens. Look, what can you say? It still happens, doesn't it? It still happens. So we've seen. I think I've I think I have listed down here actually since they've taken over. Well, not since they've taken over. What I've listed is your club honours, but I've just kept to Football League and Premier League champions, FA Cup, League Cup winners. So we look since the 2008. You go from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's six Premier Leagues titles.
Yeah.
2 FA Cup. 6 League Cup winners. Before that, just for a bit of perspective, before you won the Premier League in 11-12, the last time was 68.
And we've been we're the only club as well, the 2018 and 19 season, to win all the silverware.
Yeah, all free. Yeah.
All domestic.
All domestic silverware. Yeah.
Well, the club jumped on the bandwagon, which I'm a bit dubious myself, right? But they called the team the Formidables because we won a charity shield as well.
Right. Yeah.
Class that as a piece of silverware.
Yeah.
Right, and called the club the Formidables, but we were the only club
that won all 3 in one season.
Yeah.
It's a good season, isn't it? That's a good season. Obviously, one thing we have to touch on is... No, I'll tell you what, before I go to that, you can see the next week coming up, the charges. Before we look at that though, let's... Where's my cursor here? I do want to look at... Bear with me, everyone, because I'm going to have to find the right tab. I wanted to look at I've got it up here as a tab, the signings. Which I've got. Is it here? Yeah, there we go. So the amount of arrivals and departures, the business that's gone on. So this is a great site, by the way. I don't even know what it is. It's called Transfer Market. You can scroll down. It goes on for a long time. So if we go from 06, 07, you're looking at, like you say, arrivals. Isaacson, 3 million euros. Crady, whoever that is, 2 million euros. And this is before the takeover. You go up here, straight away. You know, you're looking at big signings coming in, and there he is. There's the man. There's your man Robinho. 43 million euros. Straight in. First season, they get in charge, and they took over. Sheikh Mansour and his group took over. It was like on deadline day or like the day before? It was right on the edge, wasn't it?
It was actually on deadline day.
Yeah.
Right, it was getting all the paperwork finalised, and it was one mad rush.
Yeah. And they still managed to get through that Robinho signing.
Yeah.
So it must have been on the cards. They must have been, it wasn't the fact that they then phoned him, said, "Do you fancy this?" He must have, it must have been on the cards.
No, there was it was definitely on the cards.
But from there you go 43 million, and I think it goes, well, actually the next one's Adebayor, 29, the biggest signing, but I think it goes up and up. Jacko, 37. 40 Aguero. So Robinho was more than Aguero. Unbelievable that, isn't it? When you think some signings just work, don't they? Navi Garcia. I tell you what, I'm wrong about that. They didn't go up and up at all.
No.
Fernandinho, 40. Mangala, 45. Kevin De Bruyne,
76.
And
worth every penny.
Yeah.
Worth every penny.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Plus, essentially, one of the best players in the world. Well, the best player in the world in his position, definitely.
And in my view, being a hardcore City fan, let's not talk about Sterling.
Really? Raheem Sterling?
Yeah.
Why not? Why is that? Liverpool
He was
connection?
just there for he was just there for the money and glory, really.
Okay.
He could have done a lot more.
Okay.
He could have done a lot more.
Being a City fan, then, is that a general feeling of City fans, or is that just you really? Is that just your...
Just me.
Okay.
My
okay.
observation.
Okay.
Is my
I wonder, any City fans watching? Is that anyone else's fault? It's just interesting, you see.
Yeah.
I wonder if City fans will jump on and say, Andrew, what are you talking about? Or whether they'll come on saying, absolutely right, okay. So you think he then jumped ship to Chelsea for money?
Yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
And he saw not just for money, for further glory.
Yeah. But surely he's going to get more glory at City. Or...
Now, yeah, compared to where Chelsea are at now, yeah.
Right, I see. Okay.
He's obviously thinking now. He must be thinking now. He jumped too early.
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. Unlucky, son. Unlucky. This one.
No.
Oh yeah, Grealish, 117.5 million euros. This is euros.
Yeah. So as everyone knows, 100 million pounds sterling.
Yeah. What for Jack Grealish?
Yeah.
You're not having it?
No.
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 Think he's played better recently though. That's a no, isn't it? That's definitely a no. Because if you thought you'd have said yeah. So that's a no. You're not impressed, or you just think he wasn't worth that.
He wasn't worth that. Don't get me wrong. He's a good player, right? He was doing excellent at Aston Villa, right? He's a good player, but 100 million.
Do you think that's just relative to where football's going though? Because it's all madness, really. It's all madness.
Unfortunately, because I'm old school.
You sold Ferran Torres to Barcelona for 55 million. He'd hardly played for you. I just think it's a bit relative. Let's just pick out a couple more. Nathan Ake, 45 mil. I think it's just what I think clubs see. Unfortunately for City, well, maybe not unfortunately because you can afford it, but City come in for a player. It'll happen to Newcastle now as well.
They'll bump up the price.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll
You want
bump
him.
up the price.
You want him. You pay for it,
Yeah.
and they know that you will because you do want him.
And that's exactly what happened with Villa with Grealish.
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me.
Right.
Wouldn't surprise me. And there's your man Erling Haaland, 60 million. He's your big.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. The golden boot for this season is already in the post to him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's already in the post to him.
Yeah.
Right. And you got Grealish, 100.
Yeah.
Hello.
Was that a release clause then?
Huh?
Was Haaland's a release clause? I'm not sure if it was. I think Haaland's went. Oh no, he was out. He was coming out of contract. Wasn't he? Yeah.
Yes. Coming out of
Okay.
contract.
Right. Now we've got to go on. We've done all that. I've looked at your subs. We've got to go on charges. We've got to look at the charges. This is probably the biggest story around Manchester City right now. So, if you don't know, Manchester City have been charged with breaking Premier League financial fair play rules. Over 100 charges over a 9-year period from 2009 to 2018. During that period, Man City won the Premier League 3 times, the FA Cup 1 time, and the League Cup 3 times. What's your thoughts, Andrew? Load of rubbish?
No, actually, I've looked into this already.
Yeah.
I went on to the Premier League website.
Yeah.
Right, and read the report that they issued. Right, everybody's jumping on the financial fair play. Right, there is. If you go onto the website itself, you'll actually see it yourself. Right, the first part. Right, it's all numbered. Right, it's all numbered. Right, of what charges. Right, and it starts off with the financial fair play, and then it goes into other issues, like which makes me laugh. Right, there's one charge which is part of the 100, right, so-called 100 charges. Right, the grass being too long.
Okay.
Right, to me that's nitpicking.
Yeah.
Right, that's nitpicking.
So that's one of the charges that includes these 100 charges, because the way it's reported,
Yes,
it
there's
does
financial
say
fair play.
there's 100 charges relating to financial fair play
Well,
rules.
which,
But what
if you
you're
go on
saying
their
is,
website, if you go on their website and look at the charges of the Premier League, no,
yeah, okay.
right? This is the media jumping on, right? Because of the history of last season in UEFA and Man City,
Yeah.
right? And
That a few seasons ago, was it?
yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
2020
right.
when they got the 2-year ban from UEFA.
Well, they was issued a 2-year ban, and that all just
£12 million fine.
Well, we paid the £12 million fine, and that was it.
It was
Right.
the 12. I think it was reduced up.
It was
So
actually 10 million.
10. It was reduced to 10.
10.
So what happened with that? So that wasn't it. So Man City appealed it.
Yeah.
And what they did, they had a great lawyer who appealed it on the basis that actually all of these charges are statute barred, which meant they were time barred. They were out of time. So the charges you brought against us, the court has to strike them out because they were too old.
And these
That doesn't mean that does because you actually Man City as a club were convicted of it, so to speak, found guilty of it, and got the ban. But then a really good lawyer found a hole to say this is unfair and this is why it should be time barred. But that doesn't mean the guilt wasn't there. So what with this? What do you? Okay, so with this, they're saying there could be a points deduction. There's obviously going to be fines.
Hold on.
Yeah,
But
go on.
the club solicitors are obviously going to look into this.
Of course, they're
right?
going to defend it.
Right,
Of course.
right, and they're going to defend it. And like I mentioned, if you go on to the Premiership website, there's a list of all the charges. Right?
So what I think they'll do. One thing I have read, Andrew, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but the Premier League have basically said it's going to be private, and all that will happen. This might be going on now, for all we know. And what the Premier League will do is just release the report on their website once it's all done.
All done.
And say so we won't actually know. It's completely private. We won't know.
I'm
anything
very
else.
personally, I'm very suspicious over this.
Yeah.
Purely because, right? They're saying they first reported it was a 4-year investigation.
Yeah.
Going back to 2009.
Yeah.
Right. So it's taken them 4 years.
Yeah.
Right. It's taken them 4 years. However, every club, every year, right?
Has to file accounts or.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A financial report.
Yeah, but they're saying they weren't
Right.
accurate.
And well, I believe they have to. It has to be detailed.
Yeah, it does. But what they're saying is what their charges are. I believe. I don't know for a fact. And this is obviously alleged because I have to say that. Of course, we best get that in. This is all alleged rule breaking in that. But what they're saying is the accounts that they filed were not accurate. They were like secret contracts. I believe allegedly there were secret contracts they hadn't put in.
I've heard
the managerial ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I've heard the same. I've heard the same. Where I've heard the same, which are though the Premier League has kept it internal,
Yeah.
right, private at the moment until release a final report. There's rumours going around. For one example, Roberto Mancini was actually paid more than he was actually.
I've heard that. I've heard it in. Yeah. I've heard he was one of them that got this secret contract allegedly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what are you saying though? If it's private,
Yeah.
then it's just got to be rumours because how they know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think how this all come about was Man City were one of the clubs that were hacked, weren't they? Their emails were hacked by this guy, and it went to the German press or something. So you don't know if he's reported it or whatever. But I get your point that our people know, and it's just speculation. It's pure rumour and speculation.
And the Premier League hasn't gone into detail regarding the actual
No, they're not
on their
allowed.
website, right? It's all just code numbers.
Yeah, I believe they're not allowed anyway because I
Yeah.
believe it does say it has to be like privately dealt with, privately heard, and then they'll release the report. I think it's one of those that if either party is unhappy with the report, they can then appeal, stuff like that. This will probably be a long.
I was just about to get to
Yeah.
that because if you got 100 charges and you got like the club solicitors looking into every charge,
It's going to go on for a long time.
It's going to go on for a while.
Yeah, it will. So on that note, they've said that there could be Possible points deduction, right? Possible ban from Premier League.
Relegation, yes.
Yeah. So
Similar things to what happened to
there will also there's bound to be fines. It's going to be fines. So points deduction. So what I've seen, because people have asked, will this points deduction go back to the seasons that they broke these rules?
Oh, I don't know.
I just want to check that's recording. It is. Hi everyone. Will this go back to no? But I've heard, because it's been asked a lot, and I just listened to a few things, and I've heard that it can't possibly be. When you receive a points deduction in football in the rules, the points deduction has to be given at that season when it's. So if they were found, if your team were found guilty now, or it was, it was all past it, yeah, you did it, here's the repercussions, there's a 20-point points deduction. If it was now, it would be right now, this season. That's
in
what
the past, in the Premier League, the highest point deduction was like 30 points.
Yeah.
Right, or whatnot. Right. That wouldn't relegate us.
No.
No. That won't relegate us. It will probably.
Well, you got teams like my team at the bottom keeping you up, mate. You're fine.
Right,
Don't worry about it. No. Thanks for that, Andrew.
No. But that wouldn't relegate us. I think it would be an automatic relegation.
Do you think that's what they look at, going, right? The points aren't going to affect them enough. Let's go auto relegation. Yeah. Out the league. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
To
I've heard,
teach a club a lesson.
I've seen some Liverpool players. One of the ones I've seen was Lucas Leiva put a post up saying, "Does this mean I'm a Premier League champion?" And what do you think of that? What do you think of those shouts of them saying? I think personally, he put that up. He put that on Twitter or something. I think that's obviously in jest. I don't think any player, because they're up there. I heard them saying Steven Gerrard could get his Premier League medal. I'm like, I don't think footballers would want it that way. I don't think they. Ultimately, they still, whether or not they were rule breaking with FFP or whatever, they were still playing just players.
At the end of the day, right? You can't persecute the players or the fans, because that was admin of the club.
Yeah, I agree that it shouldn't be the fans. Definitely shouldn't be the players either. As long as the players weren't some of the ones on secret contracts, which at the moment it sounds like they weren't, but it's all rumour. But yeah, I agree with you there.
Right, the players and the fans should not be persecuted.
Yeah.
Right, it should be the club.
Yeah,
and
the powers that be.
And the admin side of it.
Big fines, like big fines.
Massive.
Not fines that like 10 million when you even find you because to City, that's just Jack Grealish's big toe, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's nothing that. So I think
for clubs like Man City and now Newcastle and rumoured Man United, if Qatar come in.
Yeah, absolutely. Which
right,
they are from, I think, aren't they? Yeah.
Right, and the Arabs basically taking over the main top clubs. Right, you should, to teach them a lesson. It should be like 150 million.
Yeah, should be big.
Yeah.
And no ban on signings. For a couple of seasons or something like that. But yeah, so are you worried?
I am slightly concerned, but because we went through the bad era, personally myself, right, I'm used to bad.
So you feel like you've been through worse.
Yeah.
You've been through worse. You can get through.
Yeah.
As far as you're concerned, yeah. Even if it was auto relegation or something like that, banned out the Premier League, auto relegation, you'd be like
into the Championship. Yeah. Okay. I've been there before.
We're going to absolutely destroy that Championship then.
Yeah.
Straight back up.
It's
one bad season.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Yeah.
So that is a concern for you, mate. Yeah, that's a concern. We'll see how it transpires. Then we won't know. I think it's going to be like a year, at least. To be honest, But we'll find out.
Yeah.
Do you know what? If it's all right with you, I'll move straight on because part 3 was the Super League, and the reason why I'm going to move straight on to the Super League is because the Super League reared its head again last week to say, it was almost like they've said, we listened to you last time, we've changed, we're going to do this. We're going to
on a different format.
They're in a different format. They could potentially be up to 80 teams where there'll be relegation and all that, because before it was just 20 teams and 15 of them will be the same. Did you think, the reason why I've moved straight on, do you think it's any coincidence that they've done this since City got these charges? Because the reason why I say this, bear with me everyone, the reason why I say this, the Premier League clubs, after the Super League was announced, the Premier League clubs, and 6 of them, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United and Tottenham, where the founders or part of it, the founders, so founding members, the 6 Premier League clubs done a U-turn very quickly because of the backlash of the fans, the media, even the government. So they done a U-turn and they said, we made a mistake, we will not make that mistake again. It's over.
Yeah.
The Super League need these clubs. It won't happen without those clubs, in my opinion. And I'll tell you why. Like I say, bear with me, I'll tell you why. The money that the Premier League brings, this is TV rights and everything, everybody wants to watch. 1.6 billion.
Yeah.
Right. Go down to 1.1 billion, Germany's the next league down, right? And then it goes down to less than a billion, Spain, of rights. 1.6 to 1.1, that's 5 billion difference. So, sorry, no it's not, 500 million difference, but it's a big difference. You know, people want to watch, people want to be watching Manchester City v Chelsea, Liverpool v Arsenal. They're not as interested in the other games. And that's why they desperately need Premier League clubs. Especially what they refer to and what a lot of people refer to is the Big Six, the big Premier League 6. I'm telling you, but in my opinion, without these Premier League clubs, that European Super League is doomed to fail because people won't be interested. So my point is, they've almost, in my opinion, I feel like the Super League have almost said, well, there you go, City. Come back in, come to us. We won't do this to you. We won't do this. Look what the Premier League do. We won't do it. Come back over. And do you know what I mean? Do you see what I mean? They're like making the offer, so to speak. What do you think?
Quite possibly. Restructuring it to for those clubs that pulled out.
Yeah.
To bring them back in.
Yeah.
Right up until last night.
Yeah, last night. What happened last night?
The government.
Yes.
Stepped in.
Yeah. So.
And no Premier League team. They'll allow.
So this pissed on my parade a bit last night because I prepared all this. I'm glad you mentioned that, Andrew. Yeah. Right up until last night. And last night we had 10:45 PM last night, so I got all this ready, and I got on my phone. Sky Sports News flashes up.
Sorry, mate.
No, not your fault. It's great, to be honest. It's great because, you know, helps in the show, I suppose, in a way. 10:45 PM last night, it flashed up saying an independent football regulator will now be put into place in England. And it says they will test the fitness of new owners, ensure clubs are run sustainably, resolve any issues around how money flows from the Premier League down the pyramid, and will stop clubs joining breakaway leagues. And again, though, the way I've looked at this, and I'm probably putting 2 and 2 together and making all sorts of figures, but I've looked at this to say, is this then our government responding once again to the Super League and saying, don't try and dangle carrots now because City are in a bit of bother. We'll just put the total block on it. It's not
quite
happening.
possibly.
You know?
Yeah, quite possibly.
It just seems all coincidental for me that City get these charges raised against them. European Super League rears its head and says, you know, we'll restructure it. We want to talk to all these clubs again.
I'm on the side of the fans where they're saying no.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too.
Right. I was on the side of the fans who are saying no.
Yeah.
And with you mentioning the Premier League money flowing down.
Down the
Right,
pyramid.
the pyramid to the lower league teams, right? These massive fines to control financial fair play, like 150 million.
That's where it should
That
go.
would help.
Mate, that wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Yeah.
That would help the lower league teams.
Yes. That's spot on. I totally agree. That's where these sorts of fines. Any fines that they get, maybe they get. Everton and Liverpool were both fined recently for the players having a bit of handbags on the pitch. Where does that go? Perhaps any fines? They should look at that. I've seen they were playing Monopoly.
Call me suspicious. But the way that right, everybody knows regarding the corruption in FIFA, UEFA.
Yeah.
Right. There should be an independent auditor.
Yeah.
On the Premier League.
Yeah. They've got the monopoly on like football, haven't they? And you look at UEFA, and that's why they don't like this European Super League or whatever. But nobody likes it. Look, I think you struggle to find anybody almost in the world apart from the ones that have remained in it. Who've remained in it? Juventus, Barcelona, Real Madrid have remained in it. They remain committed to the European Super League. I've put money. In my opinion, they want a piece of the Premier League pie because that's where it is. I know our clubs are in the Premier League. We love the Premier League, but that's where it is.
Hence, where basically the 6 Premier League teams was invited into.
Yeah.
Right?
They need them. They need them.
I mean, pull them out, right? Of the because you're talking about basically the top teams there, right? In the 6 teams in the Premier League, pull them out, right? It leaves the Premier League itself.
That's why they need them, want them, because that TV rights money then would go European Super League way, because it is, whether we like it or not. I'm an Everton fan. I'm being realistic and honest here. Whether I like it or not, I don't really, honestly. But the TV money would go where Man City, Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea and Arsenal go. I'm not convinced on Tottenham. Okay, I don't quite get why they're in there. They always seem to be. I don't quite get why they are, honestly. Spurs fan, come on and talk to me about it if you want. But do you?
It's probably the business sense of
the business sense.
Levy.
That's what it is. Yeah, the business
probably
sense.
The business sense of Levy.
For people wanting to watch, I don't think they have much pulling power with money, but with TV, right? I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get why Spurs are in there as classed as a big 6. But yeah, that's my opinion. I think the European Super League's just a non-starter, isn't it? Nobody wants it.
It won't happen.
No.
It won't happen. Not in this country.
No.
Not in this country.
So you mean they won't go? None of the clubs will go. No. The fans have spoken, haven't they? Fans for each of those clubs, and it was all the same.
And to be more fair, the TV licensing to the Premier League now has actually changed.
Yeah.
Right. Sky doesn't have a monopoly on it anymore.
No, they don't. No, as you see when I scroll down. Sorry for all the scrolling, but you've seen it's not just Sky, BT Sports, Amazon. It's not just Sky.
No.
They're sharing it, and these BT Sport and Amazon are progressively getting more games because they're bidding more.
And they are going to, and that will happen.
It will, because
it will happen.
The likes of Amazon are extremely rich. Yes, so Super League, I think we both agree it can't happen because it's just the fans have spoken. It's just
and now the government has spoken. Right, that's end of.
Yeah, it's got to be, hasn't it?
Yeah, end of.
Yeah.
Now, let's put it behind us and then move on.
And I think, like I say, in my opinion, I think that the governments were answering the latest, restructure of Super League. We're back again. Here we are, and I think the government were answering saying no chance, no, go away. So yeah, I think we're all in agreement there. Can't happen, shouldn't happen, go away.
End of.
Call it a day.
All finished.
Call it a day. Yeah, agreed. Right, we're going to move on to our last section. Guys, I will say while I'm doing this, there may have been a couple of breaks because unfortunately my camera's had a couple of issues tonight. It's overheating. I think me and Andrew have been talking for far too long, to be honest. So I've had a few overheating issues which I'll look into. But if you've a few cuts here and there, that's why. Just to explain. So we are going to look at next weekend's fixtures, as you'll see. And as I said earlier, my guests are winning by 10 points, which is a killer. So I'm going to have to pick it up this week. On that, do you know what? Talking about guests as well, and that. I would like a. Do you know what I'll say? These tops have been donated, so thanks for everybody who's done that. John, Cameron, me. But anyway, on that note, there's a Wrexham top there from John. John, if you'd like to come on, or any Wrexham fan want to come on and tell us how it is to be owned by these film stars, then you're welcome too. Okay. Other than that, guys, I'll be looking next week for any Premier League fan, anyone really, anyone who fancies it. But for now, John from now, and that's because that was donated by John. For now, Andrew, let's have a look at these. So I'll tell you what, you're going to be in, I won't do it to you, I'll put you in blue. I'm going to put you in red, but I won't do it to you. So yeah, you'll be in blue, and I'll go red. I'll be the red one today. Fulham Wolves, what are you saying?
1-1.
1-1. That's a Friday night game tomorrow night. Yeah. So, okay, you're going 1-1.
Yeah.
I think Fulham are good at home, and they won last week. So I'm going to go 2-1 Fulham. Everton Villa.
I think you'll actually nick it.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll go 2-1 with that.
2-1. I'm going to go for a 1-0.
1-0.
Yeah. Going to go for it.
Yeah, the Dyke effect. Right.
Yes, fingers crossed, we need it.
Right.
Leeds, Southampton. It's tough to call. That's a big game. That, you know, that is a big game. It's a big game for my team as well. This, although, do you know what? I'm saying it's a big game for my team. I suppose for Everton, we probably want to draw. But yeah, go on, Andrew. What are you saying?
I'm actually going to go for a draw. I'm actually going to go 1-1 with that.
1-1.
Yeah.
I actually think Southampton are going to win that. I'm going to go 2-1 Southampton.
Seriously?
Yeah, I think they'll win it. I think Leeds. Sorry, Leeds fans. Leeds look really poor against us. Didn't even have a shot.
Right.
On target anyway. Leicester Arsenal.
2-0 Arsenal.
2-0 Arsenal. Yeah. Leicester looking okay, but I think Arsenal got their mojo back.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal too. Go on, West Ham, Nottingham Forest.
Oh.
Another tough one, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
A few good games.
But Nottingham Forest will want to come back from a 1-1 draw. Right? They'll want to come back from a 1-1 draw. They're going to nick it by a goal, I reckon.
1-1 draw against your lot. It's not a bad.
Exactly.
So you're going to say 1-0?
Man?
You're going to say 1-0 Forest, are you? Or you just think, yeah?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go on it. I'm going to go for a 2-2. I sometimes like to have these random guesses. That's probably why I'm only on 12 points, though, to be fair. So.
Right.
Bournemouth, City.
City, right.
Your lads.
Yeah. 3-0 City.
3-0 Bournemouth. Yeah. 3-0 City. I think I'm going to go. Bournemouth fans, I'm sorry. I'm going to go 5-1.
Right.
This is why I lose these, honestly. I need to learn. Palace, Liverpool.
Draw.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Go on.
Right, I'll go.
Score draw or ball draw?
I'll go 1-1.
1-1.
That's a draw.
I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool.
Right. What was Spurs' last game?
Spurs' last game? Oh, you're doing a bit of Going to go on form. Spurs' last game was West Ham, wasn't it? They won 2-0.
And it's at White Hart Lane.
Yeah, it's at White Hart Lane, and Chelsea, as we know, are struggling.
I'm going to go off form.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Chelsea 2-0.
You're going to go off form and go Chelsea 2-0.
Right?
Yeah. I'm going to go, I think Chelsea, it have to win. Like, Spurs can afford to lose against Chelsea. Chelsea have to win. But on saying that, I don't think they're going to win. I think Spurs at home.
I'm a YouTube follower. One of the reasons, I know I'm being cheeky here, one of the reasons why I said that is that there's a Spurs fan called Expressions on YouTube.
Yeah.
And when he's a chalk and cheese supporter.
Okay.
When they win, right, he's all,
yeah.
But when they lose,
to go off it.
He goes off on one and how rubbish they are, right? And I'm looking forward.
You're looking forward to, what's his name?
Expressions.
I'll have a look. Okay, I went for a 2-2 that last game, Spurs Chelsea. So we'll see. I need to pick up some points here. I'm 10 points behind, and we're only 2 weeks in. This is the third week I've been doing this. So 4th episode, but the third week I've had someone on. So on that note, Andrew, thank you very much for coming in.
No problem.
Just so you know as well, I want to let you all know this. Andrew's a City fan, big City fan, from Moss Side, lives in Bristol, made a massive trip to come up here, although he did say he was due a trip up to Manchester anyway, he's staying in Manchester. But yeah, so I can't thank Andrew enough. So to finish up, that ends my episode 4 of that weekly football show. Went through a lot there. I hope you enjoyed it. Shirts up there, been donated by people. If anybody wants to send a shirt in to get on, feel free, drop me an email. I'll put the email there. Drop me an email. If you want to get on the show, drop me an email down there. We'll have a chat, look at getting you on. You can be any football fan. Do you know what? If you're not a football fan and you want to come on, drop me an email and I'll ignore you. But now I'm only... drop me an email if you want to come on. We'll have a chat, okay? Other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned for next week. I'm not sure who I'm having on yet, but I'll do my best to get somebody. Thanks very much, guys. Take care. Bye now.